Alright, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kodash, double honors to apostles and elders of GMS, and to the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Shalawam. There's GMS precepts, Nazar Khud here. And I'm going to go into, as you can see, this article on the screen here, going into making a parallel correlations between the crash of 29 and the big crash that's expected to soon, right? So, as you can see on this graph here, and low, I remember to put these articles. I got a few. I'll put these articles in the description. But so you can see the graph here. The red is 1920. I'm sorry. The red is 2020. Okay, starting at 2020, and then the blue is 1920. I guess is the performance. Okay, and as you can see, this graph, everything you know is similar to the time period in 1920, right? So basically, this article is pretty much saying that as you can see, it says the big crash. Are we really heading for another 1929 as central banks sound the alarm over an AI bubble? Parallels with previous market manias cannot be ignored, right? So, um, right. So that's what I'm gonna go into. So this could very well happen, right? We know that one of the goals of the powers that be, you know, the small hats, they wanna destroy this economy. They wanna destroy this economy. And it's funny, they were the ones that were involved back then of that crash, right? So um, part of what they want to do is destroy the current monetary system and introduce another one or an alternative, which that is going to be, which is the hot topic lately, is the C hip. You know, the C hip, right? So you go. Let me go here. I'm not going to focus too much on it. So I'll go into the certain things here. So and then I got two scriptures lined up. So these are what's common now and what was common back then. So economic and political factors. So it says market concentration. The market power is highly concentrated today in tech giants, just as it was in the utility sector during the 1920s, right? Because around that time there was the creation, or not the creation, the expansion of electricity, um, and a lot of companies that were on the stock market um, were heavily involved, and utilized a lot of the technology of this new technology of electricity or utilities. Just like today, a lot of these companies or tech giants, they're involved with this AI. That's why this article said it mentioned where is it? It mentioned an AI bubble, right? Central banks sound the alarm over an AI bubble. You see? Where we at? So that's one. Then the other one is trade wars. Another parallel is the implementation of high tariffs, which DJ Trump is doing. He just did what, another 100% fucking increase in tariff. So it says implementation of high tariffs similar to the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act in the 30s, which is widely considered to have worsened the Great Depression. See? So where is I think it's this one. Where's this is another article, Lord willing. See? So this is the what is this? 27, I'm not sure. It said, but look at it says the electric age, a new utopia. Okay? So this is the time, so around this, so they're comparing the the technology of electricity, right, and it being implemented through a lot of companies back then that were on the stock market, they're comparing it to this AI boom that we're living in. So I ain't gonna read this whole thing. I'll just start from here. It says, um, I'll start here. It says almost every 1920s mega cap, the largest companies at the time, owed something to electrification. General Motors, for example, had overtaken Ford using new electric production techniques. Essentially, electricity became the backdrop to the market in the same way AI is doing as businesses work to become AI enabled. No wonder that today tech giants command over a third of the S&P 500 and nearly three-quarters of the Nasdaq. Transformative technology drives not only economic growth but also extreme market countries. And to reflect, yeah, so they're saying that that's a major. So that's one similarity. You see. Um, Here's another article. The current reality looks too much like 1929. I'm not gonna go through this whole thing. I'm just gonna go read up here in a summary. The U.S. and global markets have been taking several beatings over the tariff policy. S&P bear market territory Monday. The speculation in the market before the crash began was similar to that which drove the great crash, right? Likewise, Trump's tariff policy is similar to the Hawley-Smoot tariff, which deepened the depression. And you could argue that we're already in a depression now. Um, and then this dude, he goes into a strategy and blah blah blah. But this is something else that compares the 1920 situation to today. And I already read that. Um, the common denominator. This is talking about how the credit, how access to credit is similar to the access to credit back then as well. But let me go into these scriptures, right? So this is Ezekiel 7:19. It says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed." Right? Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. So you're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of rich men, when this economy crashes and you got super hyper inflation, you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna lose money. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna lose money unless you're in that club. You'll be okay, but a lot of people, the majority of the people in the society, are gonna lose majority of their money. And it's just like in a good comparison to that, which the small hats were involved in that as well, was back in the time of Germany. Okay, the Weimar Republic, when the money, the value of the money was so little, you would have to have a barrel of money, and this isn't hyperbolic either. This is literally, you would have to have a barrel of money for bread and food and basic stuff. Okay. All right. So at that time, your money isn't gonna mean anything. You got women that want to boast about, oh, I need a man for this, this, and that, and all this, but all that is not gonna mean anything, man. Right? So these are the times we're approaching. We're approaching time. We're approaching a time where it's gonna be like the scriptures speak about, a dark and cloudy day, the day of the Lord. So this isn't anything. The majority of people, majority of Christians or whatever, they want to believe that the day of the Lord, when the Lord returns, is gonna be, rainbows and unicorns. Is gonna be far from that. Okay, it's gonna be far from that. Okay, so I'm gonna go another one. This is James 5. You see, this is James 5. James 5:1. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl, for your misery shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Right now, it's funny, I read this, or we went into this last week. Rich men. Let's go into the word or definition of rich men. Wealthy, abounding in material resources. Metaphor, abounding, abundantly supplied. Okay? And the ones that own the majority of wealth in this country, right, are Edomites, or all over the world, are Edomites. You see? Or if you want to go on a bigger scale, we can go into the elites, because they're gonna lose their money also. You know, this plan that they have of trying to this NWO plan that they have is not gonna come to fruition. It's not gonna be completed, just like it tells you in Job, when he is about to fill his belly. You see? So they think they're the ones orchestrating this super plan, right, to bring in their new world order, but little do they know they're just playing into the hands of the ultimate strategist, the ultimate chess player, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. This is his plan. Esau thinks they're following their own plan, or plans they're receiving from Satan. You know, it's who they worship, who the world belongs to or was given to right now by the Most High. Right? They think they're receiving their plans from him, but guess what? The demons that they go to, they answer to one, and that's a Father. That's a Yahawah. You see? So the Most High's plan is working perfectly. All right? And his plan is to ultimately get rid of. I'll show you his plan right now. Let's get the Most High's plan. What is it? 48. 49 or 47. Yeah. Where do I start? Yeah, I can start here. Let me start at this is Psalms 149. I'll start at 6. It says, Let the high praises of Yahawah be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. Okay? To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings. You see? Bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Right? So that's the Most High's plan. The Most High's plan is to put the heathen in slavery, put the heathen in captivity. And the heathen that's going to get the brunt or the worst of that punishment or that vengeance from the Lord are the Edomites, the ones that are in rulership right now, the ones that are concocting this plan to establish their new world order. Okay? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. You see? So that's so the judgment is already written already. Okay? And and what's going to be in the judgment is that's going to be executed is putting Esau as well as the other nations. Let me not leave the other nations out, because the other nations, Psalms 83, had a hand in in the position that we're in today. It was a conceded effort, a combined effort within the nations to make sure the Israelites, the true biblical chosen, will be in a particular, or be on the bottom, pretty much. You see? Right? But the same power that allowed this to happen is the same power that's going to allow us to come out of that. Right? And right now, and I'll close it on this. Ezekiel, what is it? 37. Close it on this. So, it says, this is Ezekiel 37:10. It says, So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. So that's what's happening now. We're coming back into remembrance. You see why? Because the prophecy of us coming back and being that top nation, and Esau and the other nations being removed out of their position, and Yahawashi returning, is starting to come to fruition. Right? That breath that came into them is that knowledge, that wisdom from of the Heavenly Father. You know, us coming back into remembrance of the former things, of our heritage, of the promises. You see? And as a result, we're living. You know? Let's see what that word is, matter of fact. Let me see what that word lived. Breath came into them and they lived. Hayah, to live, have life, remain alive, sustain. To live forever, be quickened, be restored to life. See? To revive from sickness, discouragement, faintness, death, right? And this is all it did, which is what? That's all part of the curses. To live, to have life, continual life, sustain life, to live, preserve, let live, restore, cause to grow, restore, revive. Right? We're being the nation of Israel is being revived right now. But the ones that are going to be revived first are the elect, the chosen. The chosen are going to be revived first. Then the 2/3 will come in the fold. They'll come in the kingdom. You see, so it says, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. You see? So that's the time we're approaching. So that's pretty much it. Lord willing, hope Lord willing I broke that down in the spirit. Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. Till the next show. Shalawam.